project called Climate Apocalypse, Human Impact on the Environment's Equilibrium. I would like to give a very short bio information about Davide. Davide Cerreta is an Italo-German jazz singer, pianist, composer, and lyricist that has appeared in several international venues, TV shows and festivals, including the Umbria Jazz Festival, Peperoncino Jazz Festival, X Factor, Rai One, A-Train Jazz Club Berlin, and the MHH Theater in Paris. Davide Cerreta as an advisor, faculty Patricia Perez, and panelist George Garzon. Davide, it's a pleasure to have you here. I know you're not feeling super well, but we'll make it. We'll try to make it to the end. Go ahead, Davide.
Thank you, Marco. Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my culminating experience for the Global Jazz Institute Class 2020-2021. My name is Davide Cerreta, and my culminating experience is about climate change. In the last century, mankind has deeply influenced the world's natural equilibrium by using pesticides, plastics, fossil fuels, exceeding in the consumption of meat, and overfishing. If this behavior is not reversed, it will end up in a natural worldwide catastrophe. The purpose of this presentation is to give a glimpse into the possible scenarios that the world will encounter if we don't change our current behavior. Scenario number one is about the environmental catastrophe we have ahead. World population is expected to increase from 7 billion today to over 9 billion in 2050, increasing pressure on natural resources. Increase of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide emissions will increase by 90% and 50% in 2050. Freshwater availability will be further strained. Global terrestrial biodiversity is projected to decrease by 10% by 2050. Globally, mature forests areas are projected to shrink by 13%. Biodiversity loss will increase, and it will increase because of agriculture and climate change. And climate change is to become the fastest growing driver of biodiversity loss by 2050. Global greenhouse gases emissions are projected to increase by 50%, primarily due to a 70% growth in energy-related CO2 emissions. The atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases could reach 685 parts per million of CO2 equivalents by 2050. As a result, global average temperatures are projected to increase by 3 and 6 degrees Celsius. I wrote, inspired by this research, a poem called Mother Earth is Dying, recorded by myself and George Garzon in the Wellspring Studios. Where are we going to go? What are we going to be? Walking through this path of misery, are we really going further from our animal nature? Primitive instincts of hunger and luxury will always be there. Trapped in our own minds, fooled by history's illusions, we're suffocating under trash, a result of our careless living. Aren't we infamous parasites sucking nature's life from Mother Earth after all? Helpless, just sitting on the roof of time, counting endless raindrops falling silently into a poison sea. No birds, no flowers, no ants, no worms. Earth is no longer what we remember it to be. Ancient fairy tales whispered by the stars describe a green, flourishing world far from the remains we can see. Today, Earth is a desert of cold, dark, sterile water bearing humans' footprint forever. Frozen in time, past, present, and future, one thing above all, and nothing matters anymore. Viruses, plagues, death spread around the globe, carried by the wind of justice. Despair is the new belief, and hatred and anger are the world's new sovereign. Love has been forgotten, and newborns are far from being conceived. Human race is going to disappear. Mother Earth can't stop smiling for her children's death. This is the future that waits for us, nothingness in the dark of a new dawn. Frozen in time, past, present, and future, one thing above all, nothing matters anymore. Nothing has a meaning. Viruses, plagues, death spread around the globe, carried by the wind of justice. Despair is the new belief, and hatred and anger are the world's new reign. Love has been forgotten, and newborns are far from being conceived. Human race is inevitably risking to disappear, and Mother Earth can't stop smiling for her children's death. This is the future that waits for us. Nothingness in the dark of a new dawn. Scenario number 2 is about ocean pollution and overfishing. 94% of fish species today are either maximally fished or overfished, and this is unsustainable. The bycatch amounts to 9.1 million tons a year, and 8 million tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year and make up 80% of all marine debris from surface water to deep sea sediments. Upper ocean temperatures are significantly higher than they used to be, with cascading effects. The ocean absorbs about 30% of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere, and this absorption increases ocean acidity. Since the Industrial Revolution, the pH of surface ocean water has fallen by 0.1 pH units. But since pH scale is logarithmic, this means that it is about 30% of increase in acidity. I wrote the song Little Pearl that helps us to witness through the eyes of a little pearl that travels on the waves and encounters several dying creatures, the cruelty of mankind's actions on the oceans. In the end, the pearl, polluted by mankind's cruelty, turns to gray, losing hope, fading away in the waves. Each chord follows the story of the pearl, trying to paint darker and brighter colors following the poem. Same thing happens with the rhythm that starts in 4/4, and then when the pearl is lost in the waves and tries to fight the waves, it changes in a 5/4 odd meter that symbolizes the instability. The story is visually represented by sound artist Andrea De Simone.
A pearl floating in the ocean encountered a muse, a beautiful siren, crying in silence, so lonesome, crying for she said that humans are murderers and that the oceans are dead, keeping on floating through the waves. The little pearl lost its way, finding another long-lost friend, a whale trapped in time. lifeless in the waves. Why must humankind be so cruel? The bird proceeding with her journey, but enchanted by a beautiful dolphin, singing a sad melody, crying for his lost friends. While crying, he started laughing, and suddenly stopped to breathe, keeping on floating through the waves. The little pearl lost its way, finding another long lost friend, a bird trapped in time. Through the ocean, lifeless in the waves. Why must humankind be so cruel? With time, the little pearl turned to gray, losing hope after each wave, drifting away, fading away in the waves, in the waves, in the waves.
The first scenario is about overhunting and nature's revolution. The problem is caused by overpopulation, cosmetic products, overhunting for food, growing demand for animal meat, which is caused by tradition and culture, hunting for fun and sport, hunting for fur, decoration, and other economic values, increased affordability, and manufacture of medicines. The effects of this are extinction and endangerment of species. It disrupts migration and hibernation. It affects the interconnectedness of the ecosystem, creating imbalance, and it affects the food chain. Endangers as well the general wildlife population of their habitats. Possible solutions are enforcement of stricter laws, awareness creation, support or fund conservation agencies, and avoid buying products with animal parts. I wrote Blackbird's call for action, symbolizing, metaphorically, nature's revolution against mankind's actions. I transcribed singing of Blackbird and created a bass ostinato on it, and then wrote a tetrachord and a melody, and created an A-A-B-C-A section. Scenario number 4 is a metaphor between Icarus's Greek myth and the future of mankind. In the last centuries, mankind has deeply influenced and modified the natural equilibrium of planet Earth, adapting it to its needs. We modify the world as we please, almost with godlike powers. Overfishing, overhunting, air pollution, ocean pollution, industrial farming, overconsumption of meat, use of pesticides, contamination of water and soil, inefficient use of land and deforestations are the causes of our future. We are modifying the natural order of things. Icarus was the son of the master craftsman Daedalus, creator of the labyrinth, commissioned by Minos, king of Crete. After being trapped on a tower by Minos to keep the secret of the labyrinth, Icarus and Daedalus attempted to escape from Crete using wings that Daedalus constructed from feathers and wax. Daedalus warns Icarus not to sin of hubris. Hubris is described as the dangerous overconfidence that brings to make actions that violate natural orders of things, causing God's anger. Daedalus instructed him to fly neither too low nor too high. But Icarus, taken by the excitement of the flight and the power he felt through it, flies too close to the sun, ignoring Daedalus's instructions, causing the wax of his wings to melt. He tumbles out of the sky, falls into the sea, and drowns. In this Greek myth, I see the possible scenarios that mankind destructive behavior will cause. Over the centuries, mankind tried to acquire a godlike power, modifying natural order and equilibrium of things. Through science, we have the power to change the world that surrounds us as we please. And all of this is dictated by grief and the desire of having more power in material goods. If humans won't change their attitude towards nature, we might burn our wings and fall down from the sky, just like Icarus in the myth. For this student, I put together several videos found on the internet and represented by other artists and representing metaphorically the image I have in my head.
We're all prisoners of the maze of might. We try to fly high in the sky, over the clouds above, hoping for freedom. We're all prisoners, trapped in our mind. We try to escape high in the sky, trying to get away with wings of light. Glorious sun, I reach you. Your glowing smile made my dreams dust in the wind, and I'm fine with my dreams. Yes, I'm burned with my dreams. I'm a visionary, life is an illusion. Humans can fly, we can't just dream to reach the sun and stars, but I'm on fire.
It is 1 minute to midnight. Let's start changing little things in our behavior, helping to restore Earth's delicate equilibrium and bringing it back to its natural perfection. We only have one Earth and we should respect it by recycling, using renewable energies, turning off the lights when we are not using them, using public transports or electrical cars, avoiding the use of plastics, avoiding to eat too much meat, planting trees. There is Treedom, a beautiful organization that does that. Eating less fish to decrease overfishing's catastrophic effects on the ocean, investing in renewable energies, and talking about the issue with friends to bring awareness. Let's build our future together. Thanks to Artistic Director Daniel Perez, Marco Pignataro, Patricia Perez, George Garzon, Francesca Remigi, Noam Tanzer, Pari De Pignotti, Kira Moser, Cesare Panizzi, Angela Varo, Jose Varo, Giacomo Tagliavia, George Garzon. Thank you so much for listening. Do you have any questions?
Bravo, Davide, bravo, bravissimo. So we're gonna open the second part of the presentation with question and comments about what we just saw and heard. And we're gonna start with your advisor, Patricia Perez.
Davide, congratulations for the beautiful music that you have created, and I've learned a lot, and the whole process from the very beginning that you came into the global. I think you have grown a lot. The music grew a lot too, the process, and I think as people, we also grew in the process. So I want to congratulate you and exhort you to continue your path with music and with the beautiful lyrics that you produce, the music you produce, and also the idea of fighting for the environment and something else bigger than ourselves. Congratulations.
Thank you, Patricia. And your panelist, Maestro George Garzon.
David, great. First of all, I want to compliment you on your voice, and you sound beautiful. And you put a lot of feeling into, all the notes that you're singing, and it's really an interesting sound that you're portraying. I mean, you're covering the gamut of things that are so in the now right now. It's frightening, and just to talk about everything that's happening and, making my eyes open to things that are coming down, as the century goes on. But it's really an eye-opening situation to see that, and your graphics are tremendous. The second situation where, the artist is drawing and you're completely in sync with your voice and what he's doing. It's emotional to see something like that, the work that you put into it. But you're really covering a topic that's in the now, and that's it's something that we all need to consider as we launch into our music, to always be thinking about what the global is about, to be concentrating on not just music but what the happenings of the world are at the moment. But I really think you nailed that. It's really good. I mean, considering how you're feeling, and you had the stamina to get up and do this, I think it was way worth it. But you continue to do what you could do, and I actually heard some Bobby Doo Bop Tuaz in there, so I'm very happy about that.
Thank you, Maestro. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Davide, wow. What a development of this presentation from the last time I saw in class. I would like to start there because I saw, your earlier draft, and it feels, that you really have developed the narrative with so much more information. You dig even deeper into presenting, a very coherent statement, and very, very informative. I really enjoyed the way you created a very linear presentation, very, very scary in a way. And I know this I hear in the music and in everything you show today is something that I felt that was very important for you from the very moment I met you, because I remember this was always in your mind, and so there's a sincerity that you really developed through this year and a half of researching this and presenting it with so much urgency and maturity, and making a very nice connection emotionally with the music and your lyrics. And I agree with George, the way you're singing. So, and I agree with Patricia, how much you have grown. So this is really inspiring to me to see all of the progress. And I know it was not always easy, but I feel like maybe my question, I'm interested as a young musician that comes to the program with this idea of helping the planet with, with music. And if you can talk a little bit now that you finish it, your future plans, and also you had this very inspiring project called, what's the forest planting project that you also mentioned. If you can talk a little bit where you see yourself going after this, and how this project was also part of the thing you're doing.
Thank you, Marco, Patricia, George. I'm really trying to look forward to the future and trying to imagine the future projects I want to make connected to this. One is for sure trying to bring awareness through concerts and visual arts, and connect to people and try to bring this topic out there. And the project about the forest is called Music Forest, and some of you actually helped me to make it real. And it's basically through Freedom, this organization that plants tree. It's based in Italy and in Germany, and they plant tree all over the world. And we together with my follow of some people, we created this forest that is helping decreasing CO2 emissions, and helping giving work to the people that are actually planting these trees, and education as well, because there's a whole branch of about planting and the most modern techniques that they can use. So yeah, that's basically what I would like to keep on doing, keep on growing the forest, keep on adding trees through my follow, through the people that like my music, and making concerts. You're muted.
What was one of the most challenging part of making this presentation for you this year? And also, what did you learn about yourself in the process?
The most difficult part is not judge yourself. I guess it's really trying to open up to what the universe is trying to convey through you, and the music that's coming, and just not judge it, because we always want to be perfect or better than what we are now. So we always try to to change and work on it and never be satisfied. So I think that was my the hardest thing for me during this year, trying to be aware that it will always change, that we always change, we always want more, but this is the representation of what I was in the moment I recorded it. And some things are from last November, some things are from May, some things are from June. And so, yeah, this is what I was then, and I'm happy of what I was. So this kind of understanding myself that way was the most difficult part, probably.
Thank you, Davide.
Thank you.
Danilo?
Congratulations. I want to point out, really, as focused as I can, I've seen a serious commitment and growth about the concept of zero gravity. And it was nothing more striking than to hear that duo when you open up. That was fantastic. It really makes me, it gives me a lot of joy to hear, the Davide that is touching upon this concept of zero gravity. And I agree with George that your voice has grown. It's open up now. It's like you like really there's energy into. There's a lot of emotions. It is striving to it's powerful. To be honest, it's really powerful. And the way you're doing, the only comment I would do for that one would be to lift the voice in the center alone and create a surround experience out of Garzon. That would be cool. Like have Garzon coming from the right side, going around you, and to the left panel. Panning would be to more of a surround experience for that piece. It's fantastic. There's a couple of things that I want to bring to the table in terms of like just concept that you have found for yourself. Like I feel like one of the things that is really telling about this project is the way that it evolved. And it might be like a clear realization of how life for us constantly keep evolving, and it's a process. And sometimes we experience all kind of resistance in life, and the resistance fuels that is sort of like similar to what they're playing when they're departing, and then when you go through that resistance, you unlock that door for you, and you become free, which I am hearing in your music and your voice. It's like you're going through. That's sometimes we experience hardship and we experience struggle, and other times we feel joy, success, and all those feelings. But I remember one time watching this movie, this cat said, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. And I thought that was very, very powerful statement. And I think I feel that in your music a lot, because when you is expressing your topic, your music is challenging that narrative, because I hear a lot of hope in your music. And you're exposing this very, 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 very difficult subject, and it seems like there's no hope in there, but you are bringing the opposite in the music, which is beautiful. Your music sounds hopeful, and I want to encourage you to continue that direction in addressing those very difficult topics, but let the music do the medicine. It's beautiful. Congratulations. Congratulations, Davide.
Thank you, Danilo.
And I forgot to say, and there's something you had in when you sang in Italian, in Italian, the Sicily, remember, for the summit, and there's something in there that don't ever forget. You have a pacing that is, oh my God, it's ridiculous. When you hear on the summit, you'll see. The summit's going to be playing in the festival, in the Panama Jazz Festival. Thank you. Fantastic.
All right,
and
Davide.
Great playing, everybody. Great playing, everybody. Wow.
Congratulations. We're gonna let you go. No, let you go, because we know you need to rest now. But congratulations for this inspiring project, and it's been such a pleasure to have you in the program this year and a half, and to know you, and thank for bringing this hope and this beautiful project of the forest as well, the music forest, and hopefully we'll see you continuing going in that direction. I would like also to invite all of you to tune in for next presentation at 3, Sujon Lee, and their culminating experience. Congratulations, Davide.
Thank you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity of studying at the Global. It was really an inspiring year for me, and you believing in me and my music really made me grow, and it's a ever-ending process, So thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you to Grad Studies and Matt Hayes, the engineer. Thank you.